Hello, Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. Welcome to my tarot channel. Welcome to your tarot reading. Please come into this reading with an open heart and an open mind, a desire to learn something and better yourself. If the messages that come through do not resonate for you, please don't force them. Assume those messages are going out to someone else who needs to hear it, and it might just resonate for you at a later time or date, so feel free to revisit this video if you feel so inclined. You are accountable and responsible for all your own actions and decisions. This is optional advice, guidance, and energy check-in. We're going to set the intention to get Gemini some clear, helpful, insightful messages wherever they are at on their spiritual journey. And please do trust that your own intuition will be able to separate what is meant for you and what is not. Here we go. For Gemini. We're using Golden Girls Tarot because the last couple of videos I've done for you guys have been heavy. So we're going to lighten it up. We're going to set the intention. We're going to connect with a new group of Geminis. We're going to hope for some lighter messages this time. But that being said, light, dark, whatever it is, it's all valid. I'm happy to relay it. But let's get you some good messages, right? Let's set the intention. Past, what's going on in the past? The Four of Swords. A little bit of rest. I heard staycation. So some of you may have taken some time off of work. Some of you may just be kind of in a chill state. Some of you may be trying to reorder, regroup, reorganize your life a little bit. How is that impacting Gemini presently? King of Pentacles. Okay, big offer coming in. Oh yeah, with the Hierophant. Some of you are on the cusp of committing to a long-term relationship, and you may just sort of be kind of thinking it through in your mind, like, am I ready for this big commitment? Others of you, if this isn't a quote-unquote like romantic relationship, it could certainly be a job. With the Hierophant and the King of Pentacles, hell yeah, Gemini, hell yeah. So we're moving into Aquarius season. Happy Aquarius season. Pluto just moved into Aquarius. That's a big deal. It's been in Capricorn for about 20-something years. So this is like a fresh energy of Pluto into Aquarius, where it's going to be all about communities and networking. It's power to the people. So I think that's going to benefit you, Gemini, for the most part, because a lot of you, if you have placements in Gemini, at some point or another, as the sun moves through Aquarius, which will take, about a month, right? Venus, Mercury, all those things that move fairly quickly, within a month or 2 months, those planets are going to help support anything that you have in Gemini, because Gemini and Aquarius are both air signs, so they are signs that are compatible. They are signs that quote unquote trine each other, making a harmonious opportunity or a harmonious aspect, however you want to say it. So yeah, this could be money coming in for you. Let me think about this. So if for those who are Gemini rising, or symbolically, let's see, so Gemini, Libra would be your 5th house of dating. So then maybe 9th house stuff would be Aquarius for some of you. So yeah, there could be some sort of vacation opportunity. There we go. With the Four of Swords, take some time off and travel, more like long distance travel. 9th house stuff has to do with education. It can have to do with spirituality. It can have to do with religion. It's more Sagittarius related stuff. So it's like higher mind, higher thinking, higher concepts, philosophies, education, college. It can be religion in the greater sense. And yeah, like travel for sure. It can also have to do with legalities, the legal system. Some of you may be going back to school or studying something to do with law. That's not for all of you. If that's the case, though, it's going to be like an endeavor that requires a major amount of money going towards your education, or towards some sort of, again, it could be some sort of like expensive or inclusive or whatever vacation. Let's move on. Let's see what else is going on here. For most of you, it's like this is the lull before the storm, only I don't mean storm in like the hold on for dear life. I almost mean like things are never going to be the same. And so I think you are getting ready, like you're mentally preparing yourself for some major exciting chapter and endeavor, some new undertaking. So again, it could be work related, where if you've been out of commission for a while, or just haven't been super excited or inspired by your work life, that's about to change, because this is something that you're very excited to commit to for the long term. Others of you, again, it's like romantic, whether you're interested in males or females. The King of Pentacles is making a very nice, juicy, lucrative offer here. And the Hierophant typically represents marriage. These are both signs of Taurus, so I don't know if that means anything to anyone, but the zodiac sign of Taurus might play a key, may play some significance in this. Emotionally, where's Gemini at? Emotionally, 3 of Pentacles. Yeah, you're wanting to build with something or someone, but you're taking it slow and steady. I don't think you're trying to rush the process. The 3 of Pentacles is It's a Capricorn card, so it does indicate this will require a little bit of work. But that being said, I mean, the vibes around this card are very positive. They're very friendly. It might be that you're contemplating or considering your options. Classic Gemini, right? There's nothing wrong with that, though. Yeah, it might be that you have possibly two job offers. It could be that you have two romantic suitors. That being said, though, I think one clearly stands out among the rest. So if you are kind of in this contemplative energy of, who do I go with? Which one do I choose? I think for the most part, it's not going to be a huge burden to decide which one, but I think more power to you. You are trying to take it a piece at a time, a step at a time, and think through it with clarity and not make any impulsive rush decisions. So what is Gemini's plans? What's going on? 8 of Cups. Okay, so thinking about walking away from something that has served you in some capacity, but you've outgrown. Saturn in Pisces, so Saturn indicates constriction, a tightening, a need to be responsible and disciplined, a need to be mature about some sort of situation. And with the Cup energy, it is Pisces, but that it doesn't have to involve the Pisces. It's sort of like this ever-flowing love, and we're all God's children, and spirituality and creativity, and it's kind of like just this ever-flowing love. And for some of you, you're having to get more serious about what kind of love offers you're making or accepting. Some of you are having to walk away from a connection that it just didn't take off or lift you up in the way that you had hoped. But that being said, for some of you, you may choose to stay friends with this person and revisit it in the future at a later time or date when there's more spark or more connection, but it has to do with both people being at a better spot to work on this relationship. It could be that I'm almost getting this idea that somebody lost a job and that somebody got promoted. And so someone was super busy at work all the time and the other person was just like, I'm lonely and I want to hang out. And so that may have been a source of unknowingly, that may have been a source of tension in a relationship because you were both needing very different things. You were kind of speaking different languages. And so again, I'm going to reinforce the cards here are not like I'm never speaking to him again. It's more just like it's a little bit what is that word? Bittersweet, because I think you see potential in this person, but you're understanding that the timing isn't right just now. So I think it's either pushing pause. That being said, my computer's like ding, that's correct. Pushing pause on something, and with the idea that maybe you'll revisit it later, leaving the door open. But with Saturn energy, you do have to hold yourself responsible to adhere to your sort of compass as you move forward of okay, I'm not going to revisit this for a certain amount of weeks or months because I need to get my life back in order, or I need to really be present at this new job and not be distracted and checking my phone every 2 minutes. There's that kind of energy. That being said, you do seem super excited to collaborate with someone on some sort of team project. There's a lot of action and energy potentially in your work sector is what I'm hearing. So some of you may be hosting some sort of celebration, birthday, anniversary, surprise party for someone, and there seems to be a lot of organization, but it's fun. Well, in my opinion, it seems like fun stuff. You may be quite literally baking a cake or cupcakes. You may be buying decorations. You may be renting out a photo booth or making props for the photo booth. There's some sort of artistic thing for a big anniversary or celebration. It might be with a family member, a cousin, a sibling. All right, so what is holding Gemini back, if anything? What is holding Gemini back, if anything? The Queen of Swords. Okay, interesting. So I think this is sort of reiterating the idea of needing to sever ties or cut something loose because it's not in your best interest to hold on to it right now. I think you need to make sure your internal balance is an utmost priority, especially if you are immersing yourself in a new work scenario, meeting new people, more social situations. I think because some of you, I'm hearing it's a drastic change. You may have been on a hiatus or in pause or kind of hermit mode for a bit. You may not have been social as you want to be. So now that you're kind of immersed in this new go, go, go energy, I think the universe is saying you need to be very careful that not careful, but you need to make your own peace and peaceful existence a priority, essentially. The Empress. Leaning into your own value, leaning into your own self-worth. I think this can be, with these two together and what you need to release, it can be overly catering to other people's needs and expectations and sometimes losing yourself in the process. So I think you're coming into a new chapter of empowerment and putting your own needs first, especially because I do feel like there was some sort of relationship where that was called into question. It felt like you were doing a lot of the heavy lifting, Gemini. And the thing is, though, for some of you, that's your perspective, because I'm also sort of, I'm getting like a cross-watcher energy of someone who's like, they're wanting their Gemini to commit, but the Gemini is ultimately maybe walking away. So it's all a matter of perspective and what you're going through, but ultimately the message remains the same for you, is that I do think you need to put yourself and your goals first, because ultimately, whether you love this person or not, it's like you can't pour from an empty cup. You have to bring yourself, your own independence, financial stability, emotional satisfaction. You have to make yourself happy before you can expect somebody else to come in and contribute to that. Otherwise, it's like you're taking, but you're not necessarily giving. You're not feeding that energy of the relationship. It's more like a needy energy. So again, like I don't know who was who. It doesn't really matter. The message is there, so take it or leave it. What is going to help Gemini move forward, please? What is the action or advice? Something they need to embrace. 10 of Pentacles. Hell yeah. Hells yeah. And then the Queen of Pentacles. My goodness, you have a lot of people showing up here. Yeah, so some of you are committing to a person for life, long term. There could be some marriage energy here. If it's not marriage, it's a long-term partner, collaborator. Some of you are starting a side hustle. And I don't know why I'm called to say this, because you don't have fire here, but I don't know, it has to do with the cards that are showing. There might be some sort of entrepreneurial thing that it's going to take off very quickly. And hang with me, this is not a negative message. It's going to take off very quickly, and then it's going to plateau a little bit. And the reason I'm telling you this is because you have such high cards, as in positive, really good cards, in terms of earth energy. Know that it's not, sorry, I'm trying to phrase this correctly. It's going to skyrocket very quickly, and then there's going to be a bit of a slow burn, and it's going to kind of go in this sort of wave cycle. So I guess what I'm trying to say is try not to get discouraged or frustrated by sort of like this immediate success and then like a plateau, because that's how this has been written. And to be honest, it's actually going to be helpful to you to make space for your own health and healing, so that you can take care of your body and not be like, oh my God, like, supply and demand, we can't keep up with it. Like, this thing is taking off and it's great and the money's there, but also like we're burning the candle at both ends. So for some of you, I don't know what this is. It's more entrepreneurial, or if you're an artist of some kind, it's like you sell, I don't know, it's like you sell a bunch of records, or your Etsy shop blows up and it's like you can't keep up with it. It is going to taper off. So again, I'm telling you this in advance so that you can hopefully plan accordingly. That could also be your 8 of Cups. If you're already in that energy of like things are starting to like, blow up for me in like a good way, like money is coming in and it's like, you're making it rain. You may need to prioritize your life a little bit. And for some of you, that's going to be the moment where you realize that you were quote unquote trying to feed a relationship that was actually more of a detriment to your life, because it wasn't giving you what you needed. Or Gemini, and again, no offense, you were in a relationship because the idea of it was exciting, but it actually, when you kind of had other priorities, you actually ended up realizing that it didn't mean as much to you as you thought it would or had hoped it would. Again, I'm not saying this ends in an ugly, bitter, kicking and dragging and screaming kind of way. It just doesn't. There's kind of like a mutual recognition that we just kind of aren't making it work anymore, and I think we both need to like take some time. I'm not saying emotions don't get involved. I think some if both parties definitely have that like, oh, this is heavy on my heart, but I know it's the right thing to do. That's very like Saturn Pisces energy. So money looks good for a lot of you, and I think that energy is available to you. So if that's not your story right now, King of Pentacles, Hierophant, Queen of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles, are you kidding me? Empress? Like, are you kidding me? Some of you need to move away from a boss that didn't see your potential and value, a workplace that didn't pay you what you really deserved. All, your talents and skills weren't being recognized in the right way. So a lot of you choose to connect and collaborate with a different entity, a different business partner. Some of you are going rogue and solo, but even if that's the case, you have a financial advisor or someone who's investing in your company, or you're collaborating with like your bestie, your sister, so-and-so on some sort of financial endeavor. And again, it's like money, baby, like dollar signs in your eyes. And the thing is, you're not wrong. Again, the money is there, but again, I'm just wanting to explain to you, there's a big pull for money and then it kind of tapers off a little bit. It will rise up again. It's going to come and go in waves, but allow it to kind of taper off so that you can rest and kind of recharge your battery. And I think at first it's going to be very like scattershot and like, oh my God, like we're learning as we go, like we weren't anticipating this many clients or sales or whatever. And so there is kind of like this need to think on your feet and adapt very quickly, which Gemini, I think you excel at that skill. I really do. But that being said, when it does taper off and there's a little bit of lull in sales or whatever this is, that's the universe giving you the gift of time to restructure how you did it so that you can make room for more blessings to come in. It's almost like you have the trial period and then it's like okay, let's deliberate on how that went and how we can fix this and change this to make it even better and like smooth out the process, like work out the kinks in the future so that when we do get that windfall of new clients again, like we're much better prepared to accept that and then work with it. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, money looks great, Gemini. Really, it does. Hopes and dreams for the future. What are hopes and dreams for Gemini? Thank you. Temperance, yeah, restoring your health, finding balance, finding peace. I think some of you are wanting, it's an unusual message. Some of you have very mixed feelings about concepts of religion or a higher power or God, and yet some of you feel like you're getting messages from the divine. And you know, in my humble opinion, Gemini, it's because you are. You have a team of like angel guides or guardian angels or spirit guides, however you want to say it, that are looking out for you. And this is such an unusual message, but I am going to relay it to you. It's like they want a little bit of credit for helping you get there. Like, so can you please just acknowledge that you haven't done this all on your own? They're coming at me with a little bit of sass. Like, we just made in some capacity for Gemini, your spirit team or guides, whoever they are, they're kind of saying to me like, we just gave them like a huge win. Like we just gave Gemini a huge win. We just made like one of their long-term dreams kind of start to come into fruition and materialize. Like a thank you would be appreciated. For some of you, that's like for some of you, it's a parent too. If it's not an angel guide or I don't know, somebody is looking for a thank you from you. And it's not like an apology. It's not that. It's just like, I helped Gemini get to where they are today. A thank you would be nice. I don't know why I'm getting that. For some of you though, it's more like a spiritual message. I don't know. Some of you have hopes and dreams and wishes to reunite, with a Sagittarius. What's the deal with that? 9 of Cups, your wish will come true. Oof, did I just say that? As long as you both are coming at it from a place, again, I'm going to reiterate, where you are both able to self-soothe and self-satisfy. I don't mean that necessarily in a sexual sense, but yeah, sure, that too. 9 of Cups is about independent emotional fulfillment, right? So it's the idea that I make myself happy so that when I get into a relationship, anything that doesn't contribute to my happiness or my inner peace, I don't have time for. That being said, if someone comes at me and they are able to self-soothe, self-satisfy, they're happy and bubbly and independent, and we come together, well, we're going to be a rock star couple then, because nobody here is super needy and relying on the other person for like, not confirmation, what's the word? Relying on the other person for like the applause or the appreciation. There's a better word. You know what I'm trying to say? Approval? You understand what I mean. Yeah, that being said, so that may even have to do with what's going on here. You may have had to walk away from a Sagittarius for a bit because you both had to find your footing independently. And that being said, I'm not saying it's true for all of you. Again, it's a general reading, but for some of you, you guys are going to collaborate or come back together and it's going to be dynamite. That could even, I don't know how I feel about this message, but I will relay it. For some of you, that could be this creative collaboration as well. And so maybe it's not romantic. Maybe it's like a friend, or maybe it was like a friend that you dated for a couple months, but you guys decided to remain friends, but you took a break from that. It's especially if you guys are both creative artists of any kind, you may collaborate. For some reason, I'm getting music from this, guys. So people who are musicians, pianists, guitar players, jazz singers, I don't know, whatever. There's some sort of musical collaboration for some of you out there. All right. Outcome for Gemini. 2 of Pentacles and Death. Okay, so yeah, there is something that you are needing to put an end to and cut out of your life. This is Capricorn or Jupiter and Capricorn energy. So sometimes it's like Of all the zodiac signs, Gemini, I would say that you are most likely to be able to multitask and succeed more than any other sign. But that being said, you're about to embark on something that requires a lot more effort. And so it might be to your benefit to actually delegate or release something that just isn't of the utmost necessity to you right now to make room and time and space and energy for this blessing. I do think you're bringing the sword down, so to say. You're bringing the quote unquote death energy to something where it was just sort of playing out in your life where it was an extra, it was requiring more energy from you, but the universe is saying, but you don't really need that. Like it's like dipping into your fuel tank, and it's not necessarily necessary. Some of you also need to watch your spending too. You may be like, you know, a $6 Starbucks girl every morning, and the universe is saying, do we have to do that? Like, is that the best use of our money? And it's up to you, right? I mean, Queen of Pentacles and Empress knows how to treat herself, male or female, guys. I don't mean to make it a gender thing. Like, there is a certain element of like, I've earned this, I deserve it. So yeah, I'm going to lead this lifestyle that's a little luxurious. Again, just be careful if you have this windfall of money that you kind of still have your feet planted in the ground. You know, you're grounded. You have a good head on your shoulders, because again, money is going to come and go in waves. So I think the universe is saying, just be cognizant of your spending and maybe cut out like frivolous spending. Some of you, it's shoes. I just heard shoes, or clothing, jewelry. Again, like expensive coffee that you could just make your own coffee at home, like that sort of thing. I know some of you are like rolling your eyes like, oh, this girl's the worst. But anyway, that's what I get from that. Some of you, again, you're choosing to let go of a relationship. And here's the thing though, like she's smiling. And so here's what I mean by that. It's like, this isn't a relationship that you're like rolling your eyes about and you're just like holding resentment and hostility for this person. It's not that. It's not that, you guys. This is very much like let's try and be friends, or, you know, I'm always going to love you, but just things in my life have changed and I just don't, you know, like it's this very much like letting them down gently, because you do have love for them, but it's just not the right time for you to invest in that relationship any longer. And you know that. I definitely have a lot of Taurus energy. I have all the earth signs like screaming at me. So Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. I definitely have Sagittarius. I have some Scorpio. I have some Pisces. I have some Libra as well. All right, let's see. Oracle card for Gemini. Hey, Gemini, you just got a kick-ass reading. I'm kind of stoked about it. Thank you for showing up to my channel, for the people who come back, because I know the last few messages for you have been heavy, dude. So anyway, here we go. Chameleon spirit. Act as if. That makes me think of Clueless. Ugh, as if. 14 makes me think of Temperance. Let's see what it says for chameleon spirit. It makes me think of adaptability as well. I feel like that was a word we used. What am I looking for? 14. Here we go. 14. Nope. Not quite there yet. Oracle message. Chameleon spirit shares her gifts with you today to prepare you for changes that will greatly benefit you. Outer conditions are changing, and you're required to come into harmony with them so that you can co-create your greatest dream. Feeling sensitive? Good, because that will only come in handy, enabling you to determine how best to adapt to your environment and the people in it, while at the same time maintaining your integrity and inner equilibrium. There's your Four of Swords. That's all about inner equilibrium. If you feel like you're in uncharted territory, Chameleon Spirit has complete faith in your ability to fit in and learn the lay of the land, adapting as necessary. This is a fortunate time to act as if and do as others do until new ways feel familiar and completely natural. Life is offering you a great lesson now. Adapting isn't about losing yourself, it's about learning how to dance with others. I love that. I love that. Huge messages of collaboration. And again, like the peaks and valleys of money. It's gonna come and go, and there needs to be some sort of acceptance of that you can maintain internal balance even when things around you are kind of fickle and ever changing, ever adapting. That's, you're a mutable sign. You're born to live in that ever adapting energy. So just keep that in mind. That being said, this looks amazing, Gemini. Please like the video. I would really appreciate your love and support for this channel. Thank you for those who show up each time to these readings. If you want to leave a comment or leave an emoji, that would be great. It helps this video gain traction on YouTube so other people can see and hear the messages. Book a personal reading if you like. And most importantly, show up to future tarot readings when I post for Gemini. So thanks for showing up today, guys. Sending you all the best, and I will see you soon for more tarot. Bye.